Hey, what's going on, my friends? What is going on, my friends? Jumped on just a second after the game started here. Good to be with you guys here on an early morning Saturday. Got the Broncos playing at 11 a.m. Hope Broncos fans were dialed into that, actually. I think there's going to be a lot of people caught a little bit off guard by the fact that the Broncos played so early here. Um, but we look like we're off to a decent start here. Bo Nix connects on his first pass of the game. We got a decent little run, but we do have 3rd and 7, so we got a money down situation right away early on in this football game. Let's see if Bo Nix can convert, keep those sticks moving. Broncos starters are scheduled to play only 8 to 10 snaps in this game. Um, if you could march down the field, and of course we get a flag. Delay a game. Not ideal. Not ideal. If you can march down the field and score on your first drive, they probably will pull you out. If you stall out a couple times, well, you'll probably stay on the field. All right, so 3rd and 7 turns into 3rd and 12. Make life a little bit more difficult on yourselves here. Bo Nix drops back, pretty good protection, and wow, big overthrow on Cortland Sutton. That's a bummer. Um, we have seen this Broncos offense throughout training camp be relatively inconsistent. And, I've been out at training camp every single day. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Are you guys hearing the game in the background there? No? Hopefully not. I've been out of practice every single day for training camp, and the way I would describe this Broncos offense and Bo Nix's performance, yeah, not ideal, no. The way that I would describe this Broncos offense throughout training camp, it's been it's been it's just been fine. It hasn't been terrible. It hasn't been good. There's been a lot of good things. There's been a lot of bad things. Bo Nix has not had very many consistent performances out there at training camp. He's had two really, really good practices. One against the Arizona Cardinals in the joint practice, and another the following week. Other than that, every day has had a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, and the few preseason possessions that we've seen from this offense has not looked ideal. This is a live broadcast here. I am streaming with you guys live, so if you guys want to get interactive with me, send your comments in, whether you're watching on X, whether you're watching on YouTube. They'll pop up live on screen, and it always makes for a much more fun watch party when we can get interactive. So feel free to fire away. Devon Vele playing out there for the New Orleans Saints today. Denver Broncos fleeced the Saints in that trade. They ended up getting a 4th and 7th rounder in return for Devon Vele, a good football player, but is he worth the 4th and 7th? I don't know, man. You ended up getting more in return for Devon Vele than you got for Jerry Jeudy. You got more in return for Devon Vele than I'll come back to you 1 second here, Lurker. You got more for Devon Vele than the Steelers got for George Pickens. So incredible trade. Devon Vele is a great football player. I will be sad to lose him, but you had a very crowded wide receiver room. You were going to carry 6 guys. You got 6 guys that are all capable of making the roster, and only 5 would dress on game day, so you would have a healthy scratch every single week. That's not ideal. It was a bit of a redundant position because Devon Vele and Pat Bryant are very similar football players. And the day that you invested in Pat Bryant, you more or less put Devon Vele on notice. So good job for the Broncos going out and getting 4th and 7th rounder. Lurker Troy asked if Bo Nix could lose his job. No, definitely not. Definitely not in preseason football. Nor do I think he's going to lose his job at any point. Look, it's a little bit concerning where this Broncos offense is at, but I've been through this. I've been in this league for a long time, and I've had bad preseasons, and we ended up having a great offense. I've had great preseasons, had a bad offense. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it doesn't mean you can't evaluate it. Bo Nix is in 0% jeopardy of losing his job, though. That being said, I will say that Jarrett Stidham was balled out in training camp. Jarrett Stidham might have been one of the better quarterbacks in the entire NFL in preseason football. West says not looking good already. Hope it clocks soon. Leave offense out there till they score points or stick to 8 to 10 plays. I appreciate that, Wes. I had a lot of fun calling the Valor Pine Creek game yesterday. That was an absolute blast. I'm tired. Didn't get home until real late, but that's all right. I enjoy calling those high school football games. Wes asked just a minute ago if I would leave the offense out there until they score points or stick to 8 to 10. I'd probably leave them out there. I would go at a minimum 2 series. If they look decent in this next drive here, get them off the field. At the end of the day, the number one priority really is health, getting out of preseason healthy. But if they struggle, if they go 3 and out, hey, man, I wouldn't be afraid to go another drive or 2. They don't necessarily have to score points, but we do need to see a productive drive. Let's get the chains moving. Let's convert on a couple third downs. Let's see what it looks like. Right on. Well, I appreciate you jumping on board there. So the last 2 preseason games, Sean Payton was actually not calling plays. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that or not. The first preseason game, offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi was actually calling the plays. The second preseason game, quarterback coach Davis Webb was calling the plays. I believe Sean is calling the plays in this game. Because we are in a live watch party, when we do get to commercials, sometimes I slow down here. I take a little bit of a breather. But commercials are always a good time to get interactive, so feel free to fire away. Noah says the Bo needs to stop making YouTube videos, stop doing commercials, etc., concentrate on his actual job of quarterback. It is a little bit ironic. Look, I'm not mad at Bo Nix. It's that's just what goes. It's the day and age that we live in. All these quarterbacks have got a brand. Everybody's hawking something. Everybody's selling something. I don't think that Bo Nix. But look, let's put it this way. Does Bo Nix have a YouTube channel? Yes. Has he put out a couple videos? Yes. But we are a far cry from Russell Wilson having his own in-house production team with cameras following him and trailing him everywhere that he goes. I'm not worried about Bo Nix being distracted. Yeah, I'm worried about our punter. We drafted a punter in the 6th round. No, was it 6th round or 7th round? I'm drawing a blank. I believe it was the 6th round. Jeremy Crawshaw, somebody coined him Jeremy Crawshank on our last live broadcast. I'm going with Crawshank from here on out. But when you draft a guy, that dude's going to get every chance. They didn't even bring in any competition. He's the only punter that's in training camp, so he will be your punter. Yeah, it was the 6th round. It was like the last pick in the 6th round, if I remember correctly. Tyler Bidet with the nice little return here. 46-yarder. I believe the running back situation got a little bit less complicated when you traded away Devon Vele, because if you were going to carry 6 wide receivers, you probably only had enough room for 3 running backs on this roster. But because you now have gotten rid of Devon Vele, you'll in all likelihood only carry 5 wide receivers. That clears the path to carry 4 running backs. 4 running backs was the running back situation was going to be one of the more difficult decisions on this team. It's not that you're totally loaded in that room, like with absolute studs, but you've got a handful of guys that you like. And so now, because they're only going to carry 5 wide receivers, they probably do carry 4 running backs. They decide we won't even make a decision. So I would imagine those 4 are going to be RJ, JK, Jaleel, and Tyler Bidet. Throw a quick lateral pass down there to Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin is now your number 2 wide receiver on this team. The path is cleared up entirely for him after you traded Devon Vele. And I believe that Troy made that decision much easier based off his preseason performance. Yeah, he did get popped on that. Um, this is interesting. I think RJ Harvey. So it looks like we're in empty protection here because RJ Harvey just totally bypasses that guy. If RJ picked him up, Bo Nix would have had another second or two to let that develop. But Bo knew that he was in empty protection and he knew that he was hot off that guy. Oh, Bo's far from a bust. Relax, relax. Interesting play call on 3rd and 5. Go with the nickel run, sub package run. See if you can take advantage of that light box. Does not work out. 4th and 5. You know what? Screw it. Go for it, Sean. You're on your own, or I guess you just passed the 50-yard line. You got to get this offense rolling. It's preseason football. Let's go for it. 4th and 5. Let's see if we can pick it up. What the hell do you got to lose? Good protection, nice ball, back shoulder throw to Cortland Sutton. Well executed by both parties, Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix. Great 4th down conversion. Oh, Evan Ingram with the bad drop here. Evan Ingram also was another reason that made the move from Devon Vele a little bit easier. You got playmakers now at your tight end room. Obviously, that's a bad drop. I'm not worried about Evan Ingram. He's going to be a tremendous threat for this team. It's funny when you see Evan Ingram in person, you realize just how small that dude is. He's smaller than 3 or 4 of our wide receivers playing the tight end position. All right, another 3rd down opportunity here. Money down. Yeah, it's not ideal to be in all these 3rd and longs. There's no question about that. Okay, Bo. Okay. See, that was the one thing that I had no idea that we were getting from Bo Nix when we drafted him. I had no clue that we were getting a dude that's as athletic as he is. Good job evading the rush there. Steps up in the pocket. Awkward off shoulder throw as you're falling down. Chains move. And now, no matter what, even if the Broncos don't score in this drive, you've now converted on a couple 3rd downs. You converted on a 4th down. This will be the last drive for this Denver Broncos offense. You can walk away at least feeling halfway decent no matter what now. Gosh, I'd love to see the Broncos commit to the running game a little bit earlier in these drives, in these series, I should say. God, that Saints team is going to be bad this year. Wow, another third and long situation, making life tough on themselves. Gosh, interesting play call there in the lower red zone. You know, when you get third and long, the running back screen is an easy call. It's almost like the default call as a play caller because you're hoping for a strong pass rush. You want to invite those guys up the field, get your offensive lineman out there in space. But I don't know that I love that in that situation in the lower red zone. Yeah, my feed's always behind. I don't know why. Okay, 3-3. Broncos score. Relatively successful drive. Even that drive, though, man, is that not just like the definition of what I've described training camp as? Like, yes, you did extend the drive. Yes, you did convert in a couple long situations, but it wasn't exactly pretty, was it? That was a far cry from a just super well executed drive. And yet, that'll probably be it. That's it for this Broncos offense in preseason football. That's all the work that you get, boys. That depends on what you value this offense at. I personally don't feel like I've overvalued this offense. I never bought into the rhetoric that Bo Nix is a top four, top five QB yet. All right, let me get caught up on some of these comments here. No says Saints team was bad. You said, Tyler, yet Bo can't move the ball. Yeah, no, you are officially in freak out mode. I'm not going to lie. I can tell you're a glass half empty. I usually am as well, but I think you're freaking out a little bit much over this preseason football, if I'm being totally honest with you. Eric said, how would you feel when Stidham comes in and operated the offense more effectively? Well, I would expect that. He's not saying that he should be QB1, but that would make you more concerned for Bo Nix versus Sean's play calling. I expect Jared Stidham to go in there and do a good job because that's what he's done the entire preseason. It's great to have Jared Stidham. Some folks have talked about trading him, getting good value. I say screw that. Hey, you got a good backup quarterback on this team. That's a very valuable thing to have. Do I think that it implies anything necessarily about Bo Nix? Not necessarily, but I think it's healthy for Bo to have Jared Stidham playing really good football behind him, just as a little bit of a reminder. Aaron says more disappointed with the drops than Bo. That seems a little bit concerning. Wes, I would put the offense out there one more time, like starting a cold vehicle. Hey, you wouldn't have to convince me on that too hard. Hold on one second. My daughter's calling me. Hi. What's up? Yeah, maybe. Um, what time are you thinking? Okay. I've got a few things going on today. I got the Broncos game right now, but let's just touch base later. Okay. Bye. Sorry about that. Yeah, you wouldn't have to convince me to put the offense out there one more drive. I wouldn't mind seeing it. A lot of offensive line concerns from you guys. I think that's fair. I mean, they preseason were billed as one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be a healthy offensive line. I don't think they're going to be the best offensive line in the NFL by any means. Why the hell are the Saints acting like Spencer Rattler is going to be the starting quarterback? Everybody knows it's going to be Tyler Shuck. A lot of people love Davis Webb's play calling. You're not the only one, that's for sure. Take a quick second here to thank my title sponsor, Safeway. Couldn't do Mount Polumbus Speaks without my friends over at Safeway, an incredible local grocery store that supports local small businesses. Know that when you shop at Safeway, you are supporting local small businesses from Olathe Corn, Rocky Ford Melons. They are going to support your local businesses the best they possibly can. They also have got an incredible app that if you don't have it on your phone, you want to download it today. They make it super easy to order. Skip the other delivery service apps. Order directly from the Safeway app. You're going to save money. You're going to save time. They save your orders from the previous week. So if you are like me and you tend to order the same things over and over, you literally can get that order done in 2.5 minutes every single week. If you want it delivered to your door, it'll be sitting on your doorstep before you bat your eye. Safeway, fresh foods, local flavors. Check out your local Safeway store today. Shout out to Safeway. Really appreciate you guys' partnership with Mount Polumbus Speaks. Good pressure there. That sack is really caused by Zach Allen and the pressure that he caused on the interior. Jonathan Cooper benefits from what Zach Allen was able to do, moving Spencer Rattler off the spot. You know, we've got a great defense, and I'm not worried about them. The reason why I think the Broncos have got a chance to win quite a few games this year is because the defense is so good. But in the preseason, they have not necessarily looked elite. They've just looked good. I firmly believe they're going to be elite, though. Third and 14. Apologize for being behind on you guys. I know that that's annoying. Nothing I can do about it. I have no idea why my feed is always so far behind. Well, why would they not go for it? Why? Why do you need to kick a field goal? It's preseason football. Go for it. It's fourth down. You trying to win a game or you trying to prepare your offense? Stupid. I would assume that your kicker is capable of hitting a chip shot. In today's NFL, I honestly do consider anything under 50 a chip shot. Cool. We got a whole bunch of field goals going on in preseason football. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back before commercial's over. All right. Let's see. Did you guys fire away any comments while I was gone? Yes, we got a Sparky coming in pretty soon. Jarrett Stidham. Stack break, that's right. Joe says Wattenberg was the weakness last year. Not shocked he's a problem again. Looks like Powers is too. Yikes. Powers isn't a problem. He's not a problem, boys. Boys and girls. He might get beat every now and then, but the problem with offensive line play is that for a casual fan, if you see an offensive lineman have two bad plays in a game, you think he had a bad game. When in reality, he had 63 great blocks, well executed plays, two bad plays, and that's all you can remember. I like it. We do have, I like it, Wes, as Wes points out, the Knicks and the offense are back in. Cool. I mean, listen, you had one really terrible drive for the first drive. You had a so-so drive on the second drive. Let's see if we can get a good drive in the third drive, and let's get out of here. J.K. Dobbins has gotten almost zero work in preseason football. Don't think that that's an indicator about the depth chart. That's just because they know what they got in J.K. Dobbins. He's a veteran. He's been around the block. He does have injury concerns. They're just putting him in bubble wrap, getting him to the regular season as they give RJ all the work they possibly can to prepare him as a young football player. 1st and 20. Super. Good, great, grand, wonderful. Our pets' heads are falling off. What is that? What is that what is that stupid play call? That's the problem with Marvin Mims. Listen, I like Marvin Mims. I do. He can help this team a lot, but he has got to evolve into more than a gadget football player. You can't have to rely on scheming up plays for him every single time. How about you just get open as a wide receiver and become a complete wide receiver, and so we can involve you in the regular passing downs. Instead, Sean feels like he has to scheme up ways for him to touch the ball every single time. I don't know for a fact who's calling plays right now, but I do believe that it's Sean. All right, Saints bail you out of a terrible situation. You were in second and what was it, or third and 20? Now you get a free first down. Yeah, Isaac Yadam, former Denver Bronco. God, can we do something? We're going to end this preseason without a singular awesome offensive drive, aren't we? All right, there's a good looking play. Bo Nix with the scramble out, not the scramble, with the rollout to the left, finds his favorite wide receiver, Cortland Sutton. Big play. Now string it together. Now let's get a little mojo. Come on. Run the football. Gain 5 yards on first down. Run the football again. Gain 3 yards. It's game one, a must win. Yeah, I mean, every game feels like a must win to me, if I'm being totally honest. But your first 2 games of the season are very winnable football games. You got to win the games you're supposed to win. So, sure, from that definition, if you want to win the games you're supposed to win, feels like a must win. Quite frankly, if you can't beat the Tennessee Titans with a rookie quarterback and what is supposed to be one of the most elite defenses in the NFL, you got problems. What momentum? We've had one big play. That's some sort of spam coming in on the chat now, I guess. The fact that this Broncos offense is out there again, though, it tells you everything you need to know about Sean. He's frustrated with his offense. He told us he only wanted to play him 8 to 10 snaps, and they're clearly going into overtime work. I hate these early morning. I used to like these early morning games. They just feel weird, don't they? Well, the one guy that that Bo Nix is feeling safe with right now is clearly Cortland Sutton. Nothing wrong with that. He is your number one. But it'd be nice if we could involve some other guys also. That play got off schedule. You should not have had a pump fake there on a bubble screen. The second that there was a pump fake, I knew that play wasn't going to go anywhere because you got to stay on schedule. You got to stay on time. Get that ball out quick on those bubble screens. Another Isaac Adams sighting. Well, might have been bad footwork, but it turned into a touchdown. That did feel like a bit of a Jay Cutler throw, didn't it? How many times? I don't know if you guys can remember Jay, but how many times did you see Jay Cutler just drift and throwing the ball off his back foot because he knew he had a great arm? Look, I'll take it. Okay. Walk away. Again, it's your guy. It's your number one target. It's number 14. It's Cortland Sutton. Bo Nix probably would like a chance to step into that throw rather than drift back onto his back foot. It was a good observation, but regardless, he delivered the strike, you get a touchdown, and finally, you got a little positivity from this Broncos offense. If you haven't subscribed to Mount Polumbus Speaks, please hit that link in my bio on X. Head on over to YouTube and hit subscribe on YouTube. That's where my content lives. I don't always live stream, so if you enjoy my content and you don't want to miss out, you're going to want to subscribe on YouTube because that's where all of the content lives. I am trying like crazy to grow that channel, so if you appreciate what I put out, know that I would appreciate you supporting me by going over to YouTube and hitting subscribe and helping me to grow that channel. So if you could do that for me, I'd come find you at your house and give you a slap on the rear end if I could find you. Um, I am going to jump off, guys. I know that was a relatively quick live stream with you. I got some things going on. I got kids. I got to take care of some stuff. I'm, of course, going to watch the rest of the game, though. And at some point, I'll probably put out a post-game report. So tune back in for the post-game report. Until then, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And I appreciate Safeway as the title sponsor, Mount Polumbus Speaks. We will talk to you.